We decided to build a house environmentally because we thought it was the right thing to do. We had friends and family that were that way focused, and we just thought it was the right thing to do.
With our renovation process for building a sustainable home, it was very smooth and very natural decisions that we made. My family in particular and some of my friends have just been overwhelmed with our water tanks, and they fill easily without wasting, without overflowing. And then that water is just used for anything, and you don't feel so guilty watering the garden or letting the kids play under the sprinkler for a little bit, that sort of thing, which is just fantastic.
Here we have 2 of our rainwater tanks we've added in when we started our project. We've got about 50,000 litres of rainwater. In the last 5 years, we've probably only been dry about 3 weeks. We ran our toilets, our washing, everything outside from these tanks. Cut our water bill, water consumption by about 80%. Because we live in the bush, something we have to think about is basically bushfires. And there have been bushfires here before. So we put in high pressure hydrant and about 18 external sprinklers around the house. So we can make sure if there's a fire, we're able at least to safeguard our own property. Most people would have to have a spa like this. They'd have a big cover across it and they're heating it the whole time because they never know if they want to use it. But there's another way. You can run it cold most of its life, and then once every, say, 4 or 6 weeks when you want to use it, then you just heat it then. In our case, big gas heater, cold to hot, half an hour. Because we're back on the bush, it's also important to have the pool as a stored water supply for fighting bushfires. It's a great space to use. We've lowered our environmental footprint. We just use it, and at the end of the day, it's just a great space to be in. When we did our home renovation, we put in place home automation as well. And what that gives us is a lot more control over lighting than you normally have. And it also means we can have situations where the lighting is dialed down, thereby saving energy use. One other thing we did too was we made use of cross ventilation, so nice big open spaces, which means we can get a great breeze through in the summer, right through the house. It just keeps the place lovely and cool, and we don't need to worry about air conditioning. At home here, we've also put in a home theatre, and this is one of our great rooms in both in summer and in winter. But it's just a great space. Again, just another reason we don't have to travel. Again, saving a bit more energy. Family love it, kids love it.
They've enhanced the environment that sits in. It's just enhanced by it being sustainable. And I think they get a lot of fun out of doing things like looking at their rainwater levels and knowing that the washing of their clothes is not contributing in any way to demand from the dams and so on. And they've also, knowing that their budget's limited as most are, they've thought ahead and thought about what they might do when the budget grows in a year or two. So for instance, the photovoltaics have been anticipated, and all of the cabling has been run into the roof, ready for it to be installed with very little retrofitting. So that's kind of forward planning that we need everybody to think of.
Anyone who is thinking of making a sustainable change to their home, I would say definitely go ahead. You don't have to do everything at once, you can do it bit by bit. The quality of our life has improved since the completion of our sustainable home. The flow through of air, the lack of sun in summer is wonderful and very comfortable, and in winter just the sun that comes in and warms the floor, warms the tile and radiates through the home is fantastic. I basically don't even think about it anymore, I just live here and enjoy it.
My simplest tip for living sustainably, I think, is to look at things you can do day in, day out. It's making sure you don't have lights on any more than you need to. Things like reuse water where you can. I think it's the basic things like that that make a difference. I think the key thing is to make it painless and doesn't require a lot of effort for people to just live in a more efficient way. I think at the end of the day, I've really enjoyed the whole process. For me, it's demystified building, but it's just so much more livable. It's a sanctuary, somewhere just to be, to be yourself, and just a really pleasant space to be in.